Hello, welcome back. Today you've probably read the video title, but today I wanted to talk about Mormons or what I hear them more popularly categorized around here as the Church of Latter-day Saints. At least that's what I know it of here in Canada, or at least in Saskatchewan. So you've probably seen these guys before or heard of them even. Obviously, Mormon is big in the news as of late, but if you are a homeowner or a university student or just out in public, you've probably seen these guys before, right? Some of them carry around a Bible, but most of the time they're going to be, right, white shirt, tie, nice loafer shoes. And they're often strolling around just talking to people about their religious beliefs. Now, I'm not here to talk really about Mormon beliefs or anything like that. I wanted to talk more about the hate and I don't want to say stigma, but sort of stigma behind what they do and how they act. I find that a lot of the hate they get is very, very uncalled for. It's dumb, and it's really a waste of time, right? Those three things. So, first of all, the way that these guys work, if you don't know, Mormon is sort of just, I don't want to say another strain of Catholicism because it's not. It's sort of an addition of Catholicism, right? It's Catholic, but then they also use this other book, the Book of Mormon, which is why they're known as Mormons. That sort of has some other rules in it and other regulations that they go along. I don't know all of them. I'm not Mormon personally, so I really can't get too deep into it, but that's sort of what I know them as, right? They're Catholic, and then they have also the Book of Mormon that they follow. And a lot of the time, these guys go on missions. So the people that you're seeing when they're walking around, they're usually actually not from there. So me, I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and the Mormons in my area, one of them is from South Africa, one of them is from Utah, and I think another one is from Arizona. So none of them are actually from Canada, right? And what happens is, once they turn 18 or grow up, the Mormons will go on a mission, and that's why they've come to Saskatoon, right? They've moved to this other church to go on a mission and go to houses, go to university campuses, go out in public, and talk to people. And you'll hear a lot of people say they hate them. They hate when they come to their door. They hate when they see them, right? And so me personally, in my interactions with them, I've seen them obviously at my house before when I lived where I used to live before I moved here. They did come to my house a couple times, and I obviously didn't talk to them. My parents did. I was much younger. But when I actually moved here to go to university, I met them. And so I was walking with my friend. We were walking the campus, and these two guys came up to us, right? They were wearing the ties. They had the name tags. And, of course, like anybody that hasn't talked to them before, I saw them, and I sort of went, great, these guys, right? And they came up and they said, hey, guys, how's it going? And I was like, hey. And they said, hey, do you guys play basketball? And I went, yeah, I play basketball. And they said, well, we have basketball nights every Thursday. You can come play basketball if you want. And I said, you know what? I just moved here. I like to play basketball. I'm going to go play basketball. So I went there, and it was nothing church, right? It was all just fun and games. We played basketball. And I talked to one of the guys, right? And I learned about, like I said, the Book of Mormon and stuff. And he sort of just, obviously, their job is to preach. And he was sort of preaching to me. Not that I'm going to turn Mormon or anything, but it was nice to learn about it. Because when you don't learn about things and you just sit there and hate on Mormon people or people of any religion and you don't know anything about it, how can you hate on it, right? So I wanted to ask this guy about it so I can understand, why people hate them. And I realized at the end of the day, Mormons are a religion just like any other, just like regular Catholics, just like Muslims, just like anything else on planet Earth, right? Just like any other religion that you want to believe in. And so I said, all right, thank you. He told me everything about it, and he said, hey, if you want, come back tomorrow, and there's going to be the president here of whatever their string of churches, and he said, you can talk to him about it. And I was like, thanks for the invite. Obviously, I wasn't going to join the church, so I didn't go, but I realized in that moment that these are just people trying to preach what they know, and they're just doing their job, right? If you're a Catholic and you were told to go on a mission, you would do the same thing, right? You would go on your mission, and you would you would teach people everything you can, and that's all these guys are trying to do, right? And I saw them again today, and this is what really pushed me to make this video, because I saw them again today, and these guys are my friends, right? I play basketball with them every week. I've been playing with them for multiple weeks now. I'm not part of the church. They're just friendly guys that invited me to play basketball, right? And so I said, hey guys, how's it going? Right, they're walking the campus. And I sort of walked with them for a minute, just talked to them about some stuff, and then we came down the pathway, and there were some benches ahead. And they said, hey man, like we can't walk with you anymore. I was like, what? Why can't you walk with me? And about 20 feet ahead, there was a guy in a blue hat on the bench. He said, you see that guy in a blue hat down there? We walked by earlier, and he cursed us out. And I said, oh, did you guys try to talk to him? He said, no, we just walked by and he cursed us out. And yeah, like I said, that's what pushed me. That's what drove me to create this video, because I'm realizing the unnecessary hate that these people get, okay? For some reason, people won't hate on Muslims or Catholics or Jewish. Obviously, people do. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, that's sort of sacred, right? You have to be a real lowlife to hate on other religions. But when it comes to Mormons, it seems so normalized, I find. I find that it's almost everybody wants to hate on Mormons. And it's not a problem at all. And I think that's terrible. And I feel bad for these guys, because they're just trying to do their jobs and they're getting cursed out by people for no reason. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about the fact that we shouldn't hate on people for their religion, just like we shouldn't hate on people for their politics or their political views, right? We can all live in harmony, just like me. I'm not Mormon, but I play basketball with these guys. I say hi to them when I see them. These are my friends, man. I don't care about their religious views. And I felt not only bad for my friends, because they were just trying to preach and they got cursed out, but I walked by and I looked at this guy and I felt bad for him, because there's clearly something wrong with him if he's going to curse somebody out for zero rhyme or reason just because of their religious views. And I don't want to see that, I feel bad for everybody out there that thinks that cursing someone out for their religious views is okay. And I just wanted everybody to know, all my subscribers and all the people that do watch my videos, thank you. I just want you to know that at the end of the day, when that person knocks on your door with the Bible in their hand or the Book of Mormon in their hand, you don't have to invite them in. You don't have to talk to them for any longer than a second. But you shouldn't curse them out. You shouldn't get mad at them. You should just say no thank you, or just say, hey, I'm not interested. There's no reason to be rude to these people, They're just like us. We're all, we all bleed red. So at the end of the day, just be fair and right to everybody, and don't hate on Mormons. They're just trying to do their job. So thank you for watching. I really enjoy making these videos, especially when I find things in my daily life that drive me to make them. Things like this, where I see things go on and I realize that, it could be good for me to tell people about them. And so I hope you guys all take this and use it in your lives, and maybe even do invite the Mormon person in and just talk to them. I talked to a Mormon, and he sort of explained to me the religion, and it was nice to just learn, right? Not that I was going to join their church, but to just learn about Mormons. It's awesome. So thanks for watching. Have a good night or day, if you're watching this during the day. And yeah, leave a like and leave a comment. I really love comments. Have a good day, guys.